Let's get working on the river. Just have a good look, see what needs to be done. Okay, let's start darkening some areas then. I'm doing this with a glaze again, and I'm using a coma brush. It's only a thin glaze, this. It's just giving it that sort of transparent quality. Just darkening it slightly. There's a few areas at the waterline here, for example, where it is going to need to be quite a bit darker than I've done it, but we shall do that. Let's just get the lion's share of this reflection of the trees done with this coma brush. I'm not changing the colour at all here, still just liquid with a little bit of ivory black. So add a little bit more black now, because we want to just make this waterline that little bit darker. Right, I'm going to leave that bit like that for now, and I'm going to put in the sky reflection. Now I'm not going to do that with a glaze, because the sky reflection actually looks quite opaque. You don't need that to look transparent at all. But one thing you do get with that sky reflection, as we come down nearer to the bottom of the picture, it tends to sort of take on a bit of a muddy look. It's not a clean colour. So I'm going to use this blue here, and I'm just going to add a bit of ivory black, just a bit to begin with. Can you see it sort of looking a bit more grey and dirty? And as we go down, I'll add probably some burnt umber with that as well. Just want to make it look a little bit less pure, I suppose. And as we come down to the bottom, I'm just going to give it a little bit more darker, a bit more black, a bit more burnt umber, a little bit more blue. Probably go a bit darker than that actually. Let's see how that looks. A little bit more. There we go. Right. So, first things first, I think I'm going to mimic the trees here in the reflection. Right, so now I'm going to have to lean on this so I don't mess up what I've already done. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use plenty of liquid, so we're almost going back to a glaze again. And that way it is going to blend in with the liquid that's already down. It's still wet enough for it to do that. And I'm kind of doing it's almost like a letter J for the reflection there. So now on this bit, I'm actually doing the brush marks in the opposite direction. Why, I hear you ask? Don't know. Don't know why, it just somehow looks right. If I was doing this side of the tree, I'd go that way. If I was doing that side of the tree, I'd probably go that way. I mean, in the photograph, this isn't, you know, you're not getting these, the water reflections aren't quite like that. But I don't know, it's just it works, you know, somehow it just looks right. I suppose if I was painting this in a hyper-real style, then I would, you know, you wouldn't be doing this, you wouldn't be doing something that, you know, is a quicker way of doing it, just to, you know, you'd be a bit more particular about it. You'd be copying it precisely, exactly what you see. Now, it's certainly starting to take shape. What I'm going to do is just sort of refine the edges a little bit, because I noticed that this tree here, for example, comes over into the water a bit more, so it's that way. And also in this area here, you've got some I think a few branches and things, but you know, you've got more foliage reflection in there. And also this could do with refining, because it's actually sort of, it's quite ripply in that area as well. So let's have a go at that. water is all but finished. I'm going to do, once it's dry, I'm going to do a couple of glazes on it. But before I do that, I'm going to put in these tiny little sort of blips where the light is just catching the top of the little ripples. And I'm actually just using titanium white just straight out of the tube. And I'm just putting the tiniest little point on there. I'll just show you what I mean using a point of the rigger brush. Just the smallest little point. Probably don't need them to quite as close together as that. Perhaps there are some that are just a bit longer, like a little line like that.